Hey there YouTube, this is Punk Rock Matt with another action figure review. Today I'm going to be doing a little double feature for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at Giorno Giovanna from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Vento, Aureo, and his stand, Gold Experience. These guys are made by Medicos, and they're from the Super Action Statue line. They're not statues though, they're figures. But I get the statue in the title because these guys have amazing sculpt, amazing paint apps, and pound for pound are the best anime 6-inch figures on the market, even beating out Figma in a lot of ways. So, these guys are on a base that can be conjoined. All these Super Action statue figures come with a base that the middle splits out and you can put them together so that you're able to pose them like this. I really like that a lot. First thing we're going to do is a little size comparison, because that is my fave. Here's Joseph Joestar, also from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and he is a decent amount taller than Giorno. That's accurate as well, because as the JoJo's go on in generation, they typically get smaller. Jonathan Joestar is the biggest. He was the first one. Then Joseph, then Jotaro, then Josuke, and then it goes to Giorno, and he's the first one that really gets like this super skinny, kind of smaller build. Next, I'm going to put him next to S.H. Figuarts Renewal Agito. They're pretty similar in size there. Now we'll put him next to Weiss Blood Raven from Blood of Gods and Kings. Weiss is a bit taller, but it could just be the base. And finally, Marvel Legends Daredevil. Daredevil is a little bit bigger, as he probably would be. That's always one of my favorite parts of reviews because, let's face it, size matters. Now we'll look at their boxes a bit here. This is Giorno's package, and he has some nice action shots there. Shows off his different heads and hands and little accessories. Shows the base right there. Has his color scheme. It's resealable packaging, which I definitely like, because sometimes you have to pack your figures away. And here is Gold Experience. Same deal. Really like these packages a lot. Right, now let's look at some articulation. And these guys are highly articulated. Get off of there, Giorno. Okay, so first off, we have the head. It's jointed at the base of the neck and below the chin. It's a ball joint and a swivel joint. Then we have the shoulders. Now see the shoulder pad there? It actually does move, but it's a little difficult to move, and I would definitely use caution because these guys are not the most durable figures. So arm goes out that far. Can bring it forward along with the shoulder pad. Double jointed elbow. It's got a peg and swivel joint on the wrist. It's got the ab joints. The lower one really is just for turning. This upper one, though, gets a decent amount of back and forth. We have a ball joint at the hip with thigh cut. Double jointed knee. Pretty good amount of movement on that. Ankles on a peg and swivel joint. little bit of ankle pivot there. Toe joint on his fly kicks. And that is pretty much the end of that. Get him to stand up. Right, now we'll go for Gold Experience. I will say one thing here real quick about this base. I've had really good luck with these bases. This particular one, though, is kind of weak right there. I've tried to tighten it up with a little Phillips head, but it hasn't really worked. Of the 10 or so JoJo figures I have, this is the only one that's been like this. Okay. Have Gold Experience here, and he really pretty much moves in the same places that Giorno does. Really nice looking figure, great sculpt, great paint applications. Even his little skirt here, you can see some highlights in the sort of metallic gold. There's some high and low lighting, really good stuff. His ladybug parts, they're well painted. Okay. Thankfully these guys do come with stands because they're not the easiest to make stand on their own because they have tiny feet. Right now we will take a look. Let me just show you the back of this figure real quick. He's got the checkered back panel there. He's got his little ponytail, little braid, little Totarini shells over his head there. Really good looking figure. I'm going to grab their accessories here, but I'll talk about these guys for a second. When I started up the 5th part of the manga, it was after finishing part 4 with Josuke Higashikata, and that was really one of my very favorite parts, and so I wasn't too keen on this, but I will say, after reading it for a while, it really won me over. I really ended up liking Giorno and Gold Experience quite a bit. Okay. We're going to take a look at Gold Experience's accessories first, because he doesn't come with quite as many. Well, first, we have this alternate head. I'll pop it out of the bag. With an open mouth, looking very cool, although I do prefer the standard one. I have him posed with a fist and an open sort of posy hand. So, let's see here. He's got a right pointing hand. His hand's open a little bit. He has another right hand that's pointing. A lot of pointing in JoJo, if you're familiar. Left hand with fingers splayed. Right hand with fingers splayed. Pretty sure this one, yeah, is the right hand version of the one I have on him right now. He's got his other fist. Little ladybug action going there, as on all of them. And he's got two of these hands where he's sort of like cupping the booty, maybe? I don't know. I don't know quite what the deal is there. It's not exactly a karate chop pose. That's all for Gold Experience. And that's all you really need for him. Now we'll look at Giorno's. Just to fill up empty space here, I'll say that I got Giorno on Amazon for about $60, and I was able to get Gold Experience on HobbyLink Japan for considerably less, actually. I think it was only about $35. I always go for the character first and stand second, because what's the stand without the character, you know? Okay. Got a pissed off Giorno Giovanna head. Very cool looking. If you've read the manga, a loaf of bread with a little indentation there, so he can pop the lighter in there and keep it from going out, so that he could join the gang Passion. Very neat accessory. He's got one of his butterfly pins. He has some tea. It comes with a little saucer to place that on. Could be tea, could be Abakio's piss. I don't really know. And then he has several different hands. Little hand shaking or just relaxed hand kind of deal. The paint apps on these things are amazing. They really just knock it out of the park. That shading in there, just gorgeous. Another relaxed position hand. Looking good. He's got his thumb tucked in there on that one. Not a good way to punch someone, you'll hurt your hand. Here we go. Get out of there, you. This one's holding something. I believe that's for the lighter. Another kind of holding something hand. Throw a stick in there, or a gun, dagger, something like that. Not that he really needs it. And another tucked thumb hand. And that's all for Giorno. If you are not familiar with this line, and you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and you care about articulation at all, then really there's no reason not to get these guys, as long as you want something, you know. There is the, I believe it's Super Legend statue. They're not movable, though. I prefer to be able to pose my stuff. But the look is just dead on. You really can't get more accurate than that. There is another version of him up on Hotlink Japan right now in a navy blue suit with red ladybugs, and I have kind of thought about getting it, but I already have one, so I probably won't. Although I do prefer that color scheme better. Although I do like this one. There's also a second version of him, Gold Experience Requiem. Not to be too spoilery here, but it's like a powered-up version of this guy, using the Aureo from Part 3. And I definitely am probably going to get that one eventually, and when I do, I'll do another review for it. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video review, and if you've been on the fence about getting these guys, hopefully I helped you make up your mind. And, you know, that's all for today, folks. I'll see you around.